There is so much to say, and yet nothing. Everything that is worth saying is unspeakable, and yet here I am, attempting to articulate why we strive for greatness, why we strive to achieve the perfection of consciousness, to arrive at the perfect awareness from whence we all came. These are the perspectives of a savant who is aiming towards perfection. In the arts, there is nothing less than perfection, and every great artist who has ever lived aims for it, without question, without doubt, because it's the only thing they know. It's the only thing we know. As such, the nature of reality is shaped by this Weltanschauung, or worldview. In the discourses of the great yogis of the past, what we realize through the jnana yoga, or the cultivation of discernment and of the true nature of self, is that in fact there is no self, and that selfhood is the cloak that we have adopted in order to have a human experience. Our humanity is sheathed in this cloak, and therefore the purpose of our life is to unsheath it, and not just to unsheath it and disrobe this garment that we wear, that of selfhood, but to do it in such a way that it enables our fellow souls to reunite into the grand consciousness that we call God, or the universe, or unity, as it were. These realizations are hard won and hard to attain, and it has been many lifetimes to arrive at this juncture, shall we say. And I do not say this to discourage or to encourage, but quite in the opposite direction. I say to inspire. I say to inspire that the aspiration towards perfection is the way forward for humanity, and to do so through the arts will achieve the liberation of consciousness that we all desire, and that we have all been put onto this plane for, and to re-achieve on this plane. I believe that the greatness of an individual is not measurable, nor can it be measured. Therefore, do not attempt to count the uncountable. You cannot measure love. You cannot measure all the things that truly matter, including consciousness. Therefore, do not see intelligence as a tool, but rather as a vehicle towards the attainment of enlightenment and perfection. And treat intelligence as an art form. And as we all know, art is both objective and subjective. Therefore, do not try to be one or the other. Do not try to measure the objective by the criterions of the subjective, and the subjective by the measures and criteria of the objective. Be who you are in the truest sense of that notion, and blur the line between subject and object through your art, because it's in that magic intersection, or in between, that true beauty lies, and where perfection lies. Because perception is both conceivable and utterly free from conception. It is both pure, objective, true, and absolute, and free from our attempts to define what that in fact is. And that's why a true teacher will never try to teach, but instead to guide the student towards their own truest nature, towards their own true gifts, towards their own proclivities, and towards their own insights, which will naturally emerge through their own journey. So a great teacher, their role is in fact not even to guide, but simply to inspire, and to do so by resonating at the highest frequency that they can possibly attain in themselves. And by doing so, they will then inspire the people, the students, and their charge with the values that they embody. And that embodiment has no body, but it is powerful because of that very fact. It is amorphous and yet definable. It's achievable and yet unachievable. It's a great paradox, and I think it's in embracing the paradox that we truly reconcile all the poles, all the divisions, all the distinctions that we have falsely placed between us. True pluralism, in fact, is not tolerating or being afraid of difference, but of embracing it as integral and part of our greatest strength. True pluralism, the true nature of the polyedificial is in fact that it points towards unity. Because unity is the absolute, but the absolute has all forms encompassed within it and no form. And in our current state of reality, which is physical, and we exist with physical bodies and physical dimensions and proportions, and we are bound by time and space, we can transcend those limitations by being aware of the fact that those are not the only dimensions that exist, that there are higher dimensions, and that we can aspire towards them and that we can attain them in this lifetime if we so choose, if we're bold enough to have the spiritual courage to aim for that, to aim for those states, to aim for that nature that is there, that is in all of us, and that has always been in all of us. So in summation, trust your intuition, trust your perceptions, and also do not be limited by them. Because the greatest truth is encapsulated or encompassed beyond all time, beyond all space, beyond all perception. But in order to reach there, we climbed 1,000 steps towards the station of no station, as a great Sufi master would have said. So I will leave you with the Quran. Cultivate blindness. Cultivate blindness so that you can see. Cultivate deafness so that you can hear. Cultivate subjectivity so you can become objective. Cultivate objectivity so that you can become subjective. This is my message to the world, and in a way, this is my autobiography, and it is also my mission as a teacher of the Jnana Yoga Marga, or path. I thank you for listening to my reflections, and I encourage you to respond, to grow, to emerge, and to share in whatever form you so choose and so desire. With love, affection, and gratitude. Afraaz Mulji.